my name is Mary. I am 20 years old. I was born in a family of 10 members and my father and my mother who lived in Syria in Deir ez-Zor. It's located on Al-Furat River. The political situation in Syria was very bad. It was like a kingdom or something like this. The father came and then the son. They are just taking the president for themselves. And if, as a public, if I only say Al-Assad, not saying Mr. President Al-Assad, I would be arrested just because I am disrespecting him. And we are not allowed to say that we want another president or anything else. And his organization, when we go to the college, we are forced to go to his organization, otherwise we wouldn't have any job. But the social situation was very good according to other Arabic countries, because the education system, the living standard, it was so much good, much better than the political. So it make a lot of people in Syria didn't want the revolution came, because they have a good life. At first, when we were in our city in Deir ez-Zor, it was not so much bad situation, the war and the bombing as Homs and Hama. We were able to live, but in one day everything changed and the rockets were flying above of us and it was dangerous. So we have to take our decision to go to the village. We were living in Deir ez-Zor in the city, and then we refuged to the village, and also it was dangerous in the village, so we refuged to Damascus countryside in Harasta, and then also it was bad, so we have to go and live in the center of Damascus, and it was so much expensive. Like if I refuged to another country, it would be much more cheaper than me to live in Damascus in this situation. So we go to Egypt. At first we go by boat from Turkey to Macedonia, from the Greeceland, and then from Greeceland by train to the border between Macedonia and Greeceland, and we walk this distance like 5 hours, and then we go by the train the whole Macedonia, and at Serbia we also walk for 2 hours, and also by buses and train we pass Serbia, and before the Hungary border, it was the hardest point. We have to walk like 7 or 10 kilometers over a train line, but there's no train. But it was so much dangerous because there's a lot of robber and thieves, and it was a lot of tree. You have only the opportunity to walk on the train line. And we have my father with us, and he was in a wheelchair, so it was crazy a little bit. At Serbia and Hungary it was bad. At Macedonia I didn't see anything because I just passed the train from the beginning of the train from the beginning to the end of Macedonia, so I didn't see anybody to judge. And in Greeceland it was good, but the best it was in Austria. It was amazing. The people, the way they treat us and the way they help us. They take us from Hungary without the Hungarian police know, just because they want to help us. The Hungarian police didn't give us the allowance, the permission to go out, so they came into the Hungarian border and they took us with their cars. In Turkey, before we go to in the boat, we stay for 3 days in the beach without any water, any food, and because every day we try to go in the boat, we go like 20 meters in the sea, and because my father is in a wheelchair, we take so much time, so the boat is full and it leaves. It's the same situation, but In the second day, the guys put my father in the boat, and the boat was full, and the boat walk, and we stay. It was so much stressful, but the boat was going to drown, so they bring it back to the beach, and they get out my father. Yeah. So in the third day, we finally success to go with this boat to Greeceland. There was a lot of different what happened in Syria and what we face in Egypt and what all the other Syrian facing in all the neighbors country. It's very bad. It's kill the human inside us. I feel like I'm priceless and I have nothing to do with the life and I don't have to live anymore. But as I come to German, I feel like no, there's still hope. You can make it, you can have a good life for your family, even if not for you, for your children. There's someone support you, there's someone feel you, there's someone give you the opportunity to have the new life and the new home. So the humanity just wake up again. Yeah, it was like we have an opportunity to study the language. We have the opportunity to work or to choose whether we want to work or we want to complete our study. And also it's safer for our parents. Like if my father is sick, then they take my father. It's a good thing. And the children also have school. So it's a very good thing. In Arabic country, you have to pay at everything. Otherwise, you can live in a tent. Actually, we live in a separated country. Like 4 of my family members, the 3 sisters and 1 brother living in Saudi Arabia, and 1 sister live in Kuwait, and I have 1 sister and 1 brother living in Sweden. And me and my sister are living here in Deutschland, and I have 1 brother living in Syria. It's depend on how much achievement I make in Deutschland and how is the situation in Syria. Like now, there's a lot of people are fighting, and I am guilty with every person. Like I cannot go to hide at one side and say this side will protect me because they are against the public. They are against the Syrian, all of them. So it doesn't matter with which side I go. I will be in a danger, great danger. So if I make a good achievement in Deutschland and I have like 30% opportunity to live in Syria, no, I would prefer to stay in Deutschland. Actually, I have 2 plans. The first one is to study university and to work here. If I didn't have this, I will go to make an Ausbildung with the Technik filed, and after I finish and I have my job, I will look to study in a university. Finally, there is one more thing I want to say about the mass media and how it's play a big role in making the situation and making the wars and stopping the wars also. I noticed this thing as I come to German, like when people look at us, a woman with a kapftuch, they always think that she's an ISIS. So why? At first when I talk with them, they are afraid that I am having a bomb with me. But when I speak nice and I smile and said, oh my God, she can speak, she is not coming from Mars, she is a human like us. So the mass media keep recharging the people, especially in Europe, that the Muslims are ISIS or something like this. No, we are people. You're like everybody. It's not like we have some people, some crazy people do crazy things that mean that they are reflect the photo of our religion. It's not like this. And it's the same thing in Syria. As the revolution started, a lot of mass media, just because the country of this channel, it's good for him that the government go and another government come. So he bring his channel and they start to make a documentary movie about against Al-Assad and start recharging the people. Okay, there's a little bit unfair life there was in Syria, but the people in Syria have a good life better than every Arabic country. So why you want to destroy these people according to your good thing? This is what makes me feel very sad that mass media play a big role in the Syrian revolution, and now it's play the same role. Like here, when I watch the Arabian channel, they talk all the time about ISIS, ISIS, ISIS. Okay, they are terrorists, and everybody know this, but there are also a lot of terrorist people in Syria. Why you only talk about them? Why you only focus on one side? Because this side is achieve your political goals and the other side is against your political goals. So the mass media should be more honest than this, because in this way they are all the time talking about ISIS. We are destroyed here in Europe. Everybody look at us, he think that we are ISIS, or we are criminal, or we are something like this. We run away from violence. We don't want to make violence here, and we have no intention to do this. We just want to live. If we want to be criminals, we would be in Syria easily, and we can make a lot of money. We don't want this. We want a peaceful life for us and for our children. We don't want to raise our children in Syria because all their ideas and their mind will be poisoned by the terrorism that happened in Syria now. So as long as we have a chance, we didn't risk ourselves and our souls and throw ourselves in the boat just for nothing. We really want to have a good future. We have a good life. We want to learn the language. We want to have a new life here.